Hey guys, how's it going? Kevin Cleary here with a first impressions on a new Kansept knife for you. This is one that I've actually been pretty interested in. When this knife first came out, I guess I can show you what it is. We're looking at the XL Korvid. When the original Korvid came out, I was kind of interested, but it was pretty small. So I thought, yeah, that's a pass for me. But when they recently came out with the XL version, I was like, yeah, that is the knife for me. And here is the knife in question. This is a big knife. It's big and bold in every way that it can be, and probably in every way that it should be. It's a little bit obnoxious, but it's just obnoxious enough to make it really compelling. All right. Look, I've been pretty happy with Kansept knives over the last few years that I've been sort of checking them out, and this is no exception. The build here is really nice. The materials, we've got G10 154 cm steel, which is fantastic. So I'm pretty happy with that. The quality and fit and finish on this is very good. I'm very happy with that. It does flip out a little sluggishly just because there's this massive piece of steel in that blade, and this is a big, bold knife. Again, it is really over the top, and I have to say I really like this approach. All right, a design like this, you could definitely look at this knife and say, what could we change to sort of tone it down and make it a little more approachable and more practical. But that would really detract, I think, from the knife. This is meant to be dramatic and big and bold and a little bit gaudy and overwhelming, and that's exactly what it is. And it's just obnoxious enough, as I said, to be cool. And I think I'm gonna title the video "Obnoxious Enough to Be Cool." Up front, we have this giant cleaver style blade with a nice big dramatic fuller there, some very heavy jimping-ish stuff, a nice generous finger choil for choking up. Bright orange is the handle color that I went with there, and in fact, I said to Justin, I don't care what handle color you send, and so he sent this. But there are a few other colors available. The only thing I didn't want is a black blade. I feel like, I don't know, you guys know, I'm not a big fan of black blades. I'll tolerate them when I have to, but I prefer not. The liner lock is quite accessible. I'm just kind of giving you a quick rundown. And then, of course, you've got this big, ridiculous clip. I don't know how I feel about the clip. I could have I would have been happy, I think, with a smaller clip. Like if you just ended it here, I think that would have worked just fine. But as it stands, it's still more than acceptable. Flip this guy open for you so you can take a look at the lock side. As you can see, it's still as big and dramatic as you would expect. Now, I have to say this knife throws you off a little bit because it feels humongous. Like it feels like just an enormous knife. But in fact, it's only 8 and 13/16. All right, so that's a little more than 8 3/4. To give you an idea, okay, here it is beside the Spyderco Amalgam, which is around the same size, might be even just a little bit bigger, but you can see the difference is really in the girth, not so much the length. So I wanted to throw that in there just to kind of give you, I know I'm not going to do a full on size comparison in first impressions, but just to kind of let you see that it's not as long as you may initially think. The blade is 3 3/4 inches long. That's kind of measured from here to the tip. It's 4 1/4 inches closed. Okay, so that's this dimension. The big story, of course, is this dimension. It is almost 2 and 5. Actually, it's over 2 and 5/8. I'm sorry. It's 2 and 11/16 thick or wide right here. So this is this blade is so big that it ends up peeking out. You can see how much of the blade is only able to sort of disappear into the handle. So there's a lot of knife here, and this is going to be a real pocket hog. But I think it's fair to say that no one is buying this for the practicality of it. It's just this big, dramatic, crazy thing. Now, it is big and heavy. So this is like 8.4 ounces. It's over 8 ounces. You're really going to notice this in pocket. All right. In terms of first impressions, I really like it. Okay, I wouldn't say this is like the folding knife that I'd recommend to, people who reach out to me and say, "Oh, I just want a really good EDC knife." No, this is not what I'm going to recommend. But someone who says, I want something big and different and interesting, something that, my non-knife friends will be like, "Whoa, what the heck is that?" This is great for that. And look, it's still 154 cm steel, which is a great material, great steel. It's nice and thin behind the edge, so I anticipate this to slice like crazy. Okay, fairly thick stock, around 1/8 of an inch thick, but overall, the practicality in terms of a cutting tool, sure, this will cut. In terms of a really cool, collectible, interesting folding knife that doesn't cost a lot. Like a lot of times, I think, we think in order to have a knife that's impressive and different and maybe not the average everyday folder, we've got to spend a lot of money. But this is not that expensive. I think they're about 70, $80, which is quite reasonable. And I have to say, I'm going to look forward to carrying this and using it and kind of getting more familiar with it so that I can bring you guys a full review in a few weeks' time. Thanks a lot for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to check out White Mountain Knives. You'll see a link and a discount code down in the description box. Again, thanks for watching. We will talk to you soon.